Hey girls, it's Bree.
It's Cece.
It's Angela.
And you're tuned into
For the Girls.
Woo! All right, I just want to prepare y'all for what's about to come. Out of all of the episodes that we have filmed, this is probably the most dramatic. So bear with us.
Drama.
Yeah, it's coming. First, let me read a highlight from our episode, How Long is Too Long to Wait for the Ring. Nikayla M. says, I loved this episode. It's so necessary to have these foundational conversations in the beginning, like you all stated. Found my new favorite podcast. Thanks so much, ladies, for the great dating advice.
Yes,
I love that.
Okay.
You're so welcome. And thanks for actually leaving a review. It means the world to us. If you have a moment right now, go leave a review. Let's throw it over to Angela, who's going to read our scenario for today.
Okay, let's get into it. It's detailed, but before we start, I do want to point out and say thank you to the people who have written in recently. They are giving more details like you asked, Bree.
Yeah.
And that is fine. I don't care how long it takes us to read it. It really helps us to peel it. Like, we're always like, where do we start?
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of those like, let's where do you want to start? So, but we're gonna help you, sis. Of course, our good sis wants to remain anonymous. Hi, ladies. So my now ex and I were FWB, which I think is friends with benefits, for a while before we made it official. Before we started dating, we even shared each other's social media accounts. And one night I woke up to his Facebook Messenger notifications. When I opened them up, I couldn't believe what I saw. He was sexting his male coworker who is gay. The messages were horrific to read. He even sent his coworker nudes. One of the messages read that he is pansexual when it comes to sex, but in relationships, he's heterosexual. When I brought it up to him, he tried to lie and say his account was hacked, which it wasn't, but then finally told me the truth when I told him he doesn't have to hide anything from me. He said he's not pansexual. That's just what he told his gay coworker, and also said he's hypersexual. And when he's in the mood, he will talk to anyone that's easily accessible, no matter their gender or sexual orientation. And he likes to talk to people that are easy and are attracted to him so that they can tell him the things he wants to hear so he can get off.
So isn't that pansexual?
Yes.
Okay. Keep going.
This concerned me because 1, it sounded like he has a sex addiction, and 2, he doesn't know his sexual orientation. I also didn't like the fact that he is sexually talking to people that are LGBTQ for his own sexual gratification, and they don't know that he is just using them and not actually interested in them. I agree. Mm-hmm. I was also upset that he lied and never disclosed this to me. Also agree. He said this wasn't his first time talking to a gay man, which concerned me even more because it's not his first time doing something like this, which leads me to think he is really pansexual and just doesn't want to admit it to himself. He said he will sex them, but he's never physically intimate with men. And once he gets what he wants, he will ghost them. A couple months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. But 2 months in, broke up with him when he asked me why. I said when he asked me why, I said it was because I lost interest, but really it was because of these messages I saw on his Facebook. Now he wants to give it another shot, but I'm conflicted on if I should or not. I still love him, and I know he's a great guy. We've known each other since high school, but I don't know if I can move past the situation. My gut is telling me he's pansexual or bisexual and can't come to terms with that because he's scared of what his friends and family will think. What would you do if you were in this situation? Would you give the relationship another shot? Thank you for your advice. Love your podcast.
Okay, I have a
Clarifying
question because maybe I missed it. So has he ever had sex with a man?
So she is telling her that he has not.
Okay.
But
he also lied.
He also lied
About other things.
Yes. So she feels like she said her gut is telling her that he really is pansexual. Okay. So, okay, for the audience, let's clarify or maybe define a term.
Yes.
Pansexual. What is that? Sexually or romantically attracted to people regardless of their sex or gender. So with that definition is there. Hypersexuality What is
it's in the message. Hold on, I'll find it.
is that?
It is
when
an obsession with sexual thoughts, urges, or behaviors that may cause distress or that negatively affect health, job, or relationships.
Read it one more time.
An obsession with sexual thoughts, urges, or behaviors that may cause distress that negatively affect health, job, or relationships.
Oh, now I can
So
see.
kind of similar to like
sex
a sex
addiction.
addiction.
Yeah. And also sounds in alignment with what he said that he is.
Yeah.
Especially if he's not acting on it.
Yeah.
And he's just getting his thoughts out.
Yeah.
In a way that is like instant gratification for him.
Okay.
So
we got some terms defined.
yeah.
Okay. Where do we want to start?
Wow.
So okay, this is an X. Let's clarify the timeline a little bit. I don't know the exact timeline. This is an X. They were friends with benefits before they made it official, and then we'll get into the social media stuff. But she saw on his social media he was sexting a coworker. That was a thing. But they ended up getting together 2 months later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have this correct?
Yeah.
Yes, but then they broke up.
Angela's giving so teacher.
Look,
right
I
now.
need the deets and I need the data. Okay, she gave us data, so let's put it up for Dre. Do we have a whiteboard?
Oh my gosh. The fact, I think that this clipboard might not have been a good idea for Angela. She's like,
I need a highlighter. Look, that's why I appreciate the details, because I'm like, I really want to help her. A couple months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. She said yes, but 2 months in, they broke up. And she lied and said it's because she lost interest, but it's really because she was still thinking about the Facebook
there's a lot of lying going on.
Yeah.
Because as the Facebook messages was still
He's
bothering
lying
her.
about what he needs and what he wants and what he does and what he doesn't do.
Oh.
She's lying about why she did and didn't do it. Like,
She does love him. He's a good guy, it seems. They've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
So those are
Okay.
some strong.
I wanna start here.
Okay, go ahead, Bree.
I'm over here like really cringing because
Right.
I'm just like, ooh. Okay, so one, forget the pansexual situation.
Yeah.
If he was caught doing the same thing with a woman, it's still not okay.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I want to go to the very beginning where she said they shared their social media accounts at the very beginning of the relationship. I just do not think that is a good thing to do ever.
I completely disagree with that.
That is such a form of privacy violation.
Yeah.
But also, it almost like, even with this situation, right? She saw what she saw and he had a response, which was that of a lie. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, seeing the thing doesn't matter at the end of the day, because people will lie and they will tell you whatever narrative they need to tell you to get you off of the idea that they're doing something wrong, per se, which is essentially what he did in this case. Then he came, clean with it. But at the end of the day, it still wasn't wrong. It was like, he only told her because she said, I'll accept you. And for him, it probably was a big weight off of his chest to be able to tell someone. They have history. They've known each other since high school. Safe space. Makes sense. Please don't be out here sharing your social media accounts with people. That you need to have trust. And that is a clear violation of trust. It is no good, because then all's going to happen is one of you or both of you are going to constantly be looking at the other person's stuff. There's always going to be something to find when you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Do not share your socials or give each other phone passwords or any of that unless you are like in a committed relationship and it makes sense to. Yeah. The reason why me and Dre have the same passcodes is because it's easier to remember. For me, I have bad memory. Like, we have the same code for everything, and there's nothing to hide, but there's also nothing to look for. Yeah. Like, I'm not looking through his stuff. I don't have his password or share a password because I need to see what he's doing. Yeah. Like, it's a convenience thing and a safety thing. Yeah. But please don't do that. I just wanted to throw that out there, because that was like the first red flag for me. I'm like, why in the world would you guys share socials?
Where are the flags?
Yeah, especially when you're not even you weren't even in a
Married.
relationship. Well, because it seemed like they shared socials
Oh,
when
yeah,
they were just friends with benefits.
Yeah,
that's weird.
What are we doing?
That was a bit of a jump.
yeah.
Even
Bit of a leap there.
yeah, big leap.
Yeah.
I completely 100% agree with you, Bree. That was my first thought. Like, that is weird. And I know that people do it for whatever reason. Personally, I'm totally against that. And that's just because it's something I learned over the years.
Yeah.
Like, when I got into the space where I met Sean, I was very anti going through phones, going through social media, going through any of that, because I had done that so much.
Yeah, nothing
And
good
I
comes
just
of
figured, you know what? I said a prayer to God. If there's anything you need to show me,
reveal it.
please show me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, everything that, and I think Sean's only really lied about 2 big things to me, and it came out. And I didn't need to go through his phone for that. So, you know, that's just, but the thing is, we have each other's passwords. Our if he needs, hey babe, I need your da 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 da. Yeah, you know my passcode. What is it again? It's da 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 da. He goes right in there, babe. I need your computer. Okay, go for it. I need to buy tickets. Go for it. Like it's not a thing. Or hey, such and such sent me this thing through DMs. Can you send that back to me? It's like I'm not going through his stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing you need to know your partner. You need to know your partner, and things that are bottom lines for you and Shane and you and Trey are different for me and Sean. We know our bottom lines. Like, this is what you need to tell me about if it happens. And he tells me. A girl's in my DMs. She don't care that I'm married. She sent me several messages. I want you to know about it. Thanks, babe. Like, that's a bottom line for us. Like, same on the other side. He's told me things, and it's something we've learned over the years. We've never felt the need to go through each other's phones.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I've actually never had the desire to go
That
through,
sounds stressful.
a man's phone.
Yeah.
Especially like my husband's phone. Like, I of course have all of his passcodes to everything.
Yeah.
He has all of my passcodes and my passwords to everything. Like, you know, like, if I wanted to snoop, I could in theory, but I don't even want that, because, like, to Bree's point, when you go looking for stuff, you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Or like, even if you find like the littlest things, you're gonna create a narrative around it.
You're gonna dissect it.
That could be really nothing, or have been like innocent or whatever. And it's just like listen. At the end of the day, you know, I'll speak from my relationship, you know, with my husband. Like, my man is simple, okay? Like, if he's like, I think same, like, Shane's probably like lied to me like maybe like twice. And girl, I knew immediately. First of all, he's a terrible liar. Okay, so when he did it, I was like, really? So is that really what you're telling me right now? With a straight face. Try it again. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I know him.
Right.
And so when he knew that I knew that he was not being honest with me, he was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, no, I was, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so like, that was like over like little petty shit.
Yeah.
And so we have like a dynamic in our relationship where we just don't lie to each other.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's so funny because like, when Shane tells his homies that like, hey bro, I don't lie to my wife, they're like, come on nigga, like, you don't lie to, you don't just hide some. He's like, no, I don't lie to my wife. Like there's instances where Shane's out with his boys and like, he didn't check in, and he went to a strip club with his boys, and it's like 3 a.m. now, and I haven't heard from him for a few hours. So I'm calling him, and I'm tight, but I'm tight because he didn't check in with me, because that's a rule that we have, right? It's to check in with each other. It's your bottom
line.
Right.
There's some bottom lines.
And so when they hear me calling and fussing at Shane, like, his boys are assuming like, oh, like, she's fussing because he just told her like, hey baby, we just left the strip club, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck if you just went to go see some ass and titties. Like, I'll go strip clubs too. You know what I'm saying? So like that's not what I'm tight about. I'm tight because my husband and I had an agreement that he would check in every now and then if I haven't heard from him for a few hours, right?
Yeah.
So like we really don't lie to each other. We have a very honest and open and transparent relationship with each other.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to have to go through his phone. And honestly, I don't want that type of stress and anxiety for me. Like that's not what I want for me.
It's just once you go down that money hole, sis, like that's so stressful. So I am with you, both of you. I don't think you should be logged into your spouse's Instagram,
super controlling,
or Facebook, or what else is there out there? TikTok,
and you don't even want that type of relationship at the end of the day. If you feel like you have to like go behind your partner and snoop on their stuff, like where's the trust at?
Yeah,
any relationship with a lack of trust is not a sustainable relationship.
Nope.
Period.
It's gonna be stressful regardless.
And now moving on from the social media to the sexuality thing. I don't think that it is okay to be in a relationship with someone who is exploring their sexuality because they don't know what they want or what works for them. Do that in your singleness, please. Yeah. Do not drag me into that chaos. Yes. No, thank you.
Yes.
And if you are fluid in a sense of you more are attracted to people's energies and you don't identify with certain gender, situations when it comes to sex specifically, I think that only works if you're with someone else who is just like that. Yeah. Because you can't be that and then be with a woman who just wants a man who just wants you. Yes. And you out here doing and thinking and being, because now the whole world is your oyster. So now not only do I got to worry about women, but I got to worry about everything else that has 4 legs and a private area.
4 legs?
Well, I said 4.
Were we talking about dogs?
I know. That's what I pictured was a dog and like animals walking around.
Oh God, 2 legs, people, 2 legs. Oh my God. No, for real though, like that is stressful.
But I get what you're saying.
Why would you want to drag somebody into that?
Crap,
figure it out.
Yo, okay, like. How do you? I gotta worry about
grandmas and grandpas too, because they don't care about age.
Listen to our sis. She got to worry about his Facebook,
about energy,
his Insta.
Tell me what
she's got to worry about the girls and the boys. He's pansexual. Everything else, right. Like it's all.
And that would be okay if you were with another person who was also like that.
Right. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing, this is worse than porn. Like saying that you would have somebody actually dedicate their time to whisper and sweet nothings in your ear or through a fucking Facebook message. What? Anyways, for you to get your rocks off, like what happened to good old fashioned porn? Like at least you're not involving a third party into the situation and you're not making your person look like a fool.
Yeah.
Right. That, and it's what she said is wrong. He's leading on members of the LGBTQ community.
Who already got it hard enough out here.
That's what I'm saying. Right. He's wrong for that. She's completely right. That's not okay for you to say, what did he say? He's pansexual.
No. He's hypersexual.
Okay.
So basically.
But he told the guy he's pansexual. In sex.
Which, here's my thing. First of all, none of us knew what that was. We had to look it up. If you knew what that was, to tell a man, honey, you're probably
That's what I'm saying.
How do you know what that is to tell somebody?
Like her gut is telling her.
You know what I mean? Nobody just makes up words that they don't know. You knew what that meant because you looked it up.
Because
it's you.
Yes, you identify with that.
And she knows he has some other desires.
Yeah.
He has some other desires. And it is perfectly 100% okay to have whatever desire you want in this world. We should celebrate that. Everybody should be accepted for whatever they desire and what they want to love. What is not okay,
say it.
What is not okay is to tell somebody who you want to be with, who you love, this love word we keep popping up, who you love, that you're not that, and then telling other people who are interested in you that you are that. That is not okay. It's perpetrating. It's manipulative. It's lying. It's you're screwing with other people's emotions, people's hearts. That is not okay in any shape, form. I don't care if you didn't touch him. What did Dre say in one of his podcast with Rhonda? Cheating is not just physical.
Absolutely.
It's he's cheating.
Mentally, emotionally.
I love it when Angela goes on a rant. I love it.
I'm like,
yes,
say it,
Angela.
Because
Rip that paper up.
It's bothering me. Yeah, Dre should have never gave me this. She should have kept it on the phone.
Yeah, she keeps smacking it. Sorry, all the loud noises y'all hear is Angela beating up the clipboard.
Sorry. Don't give me some notes now. Don't give me some notes. I'm gonna dissect them. But that's a big problem. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good guy, and I'm not saying that he doesn't necessarily have love for you, but that's not okay. He's manipulating all sides of this equation. You need to get away from that.
He needs to go figure himself out, and y'all could be friends. You could be there to support him and hear him when he needs somebody to talk to. Don't help him get his rocks off, though, because I think for me, I'd have been like, nope, done deal. The fact that it's even a question of should I give it a no?
Yeah, it's a no.
No.
It's a no.
Yeah.
No.
Especially if
Please,
if
no.
you're a woman who doesn't identify in that same manner and also doesn't feel comfortable with being with someone who identifies with something that you don't agree with, or that you don't identify with. Not necessarily you don't agree with it in the sense of like other people doing it.
She's super understanding,
right?
Yeah.
But if you don't want to be with a man who's pansexual or hypersexual or bisexual or whatever, then you shouldn't be with a man like that.
That's what I'm saying.
If you have
if you desires.
have a question or now you're harboring some trust issues around that.
Yeah.
And the reason why being with someone like that will never work is because you will never feel like enough.
Yeah.
Like essentially, literally the term of what it is that it is an obsessive amount. It is an urge. It is a habit. It is something that literally messes up their relationships and their careers. And like you are going to get hurt as a person. You are not going to feel enough because that is a urge that you yourself cannot feel. So why even get in that like car if you don't like where it's going?
That brings me to like the next question. What is considered a sex addiction? And I only bring this up because Sean and I were talking about this. I think we were talking about the questions. He was like, would you ever be with somebody who had a sex addiction? I said, absolutely not. No. And he was like, well, you know, why? I feel like I'm kind of addicted to sex. No. I was like, no, sir. No. It's different.
You have a high sex drive.
You have a high sex drive. You want to have sex with your wife a lot and frequently, and you vocalize it, which is fine.
Which is fine.
But if I'm not giving it to you, he's not going out and seeking it in different forms through different people. Different genders,
right.
different.
That's totally different.
It's another level.
Right.
And that's why I told him, I was like, if I'm not giving you butt one night, you're going to turn over, go sleep. You might even
try again the next day.
That's why we'll try again the next night.
Right.
I was like, that's the difference. You're not, he always says like, oh, I feel like I'm addicted to sex because I only want to have sex with you and you don't want to have sex all the time. No, you're a man.
I'm about to say, Sean and Shane are like identical in this sense. You know what? Maybe it might be a Virgo thing.
It might be a Virgo thing. I think it's a man thing.
No,
because
it is.
Even coworkers who are older than me, they bring up the same thing. Like, oh, God, he wants to have sex all the time. And it's like you want to be grateful because you have a husband who's super attracted to you and wants you. And I'm so grateful for that. He cannot keep his hands off me. I love it. I even love thinking about it. However, Sometimes I don't want to, he knows. We go through this all the time, right, babe? We don't want to have sex.
Girl, you and me both. I mean, we just went through it, maybe, I don't know, it was on Tuesday, where like, we were both, couldn't really sleep. And like, I was tossing and turning, but like, I'm in a space right now where I'm prioritizing my sleep because I don't get good sleep. And it's really having an effect on me. And so I'm like, I want to freaking go to sleep, okay?
He's trying to finagle.
And so the other night, Shane's like, baby. And I'm like, He's like, you're not even asleep. if we have sex, it'll help you go to sleep. And I'm like, Shane,
NyQuil.
leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep. He's like, no, I know, but like if we have sex, it'll help you go to sleep. You're not even asleep right now, baby. I'm like, Shane, respectfully, leave me alone. And I wanted to be like, fuck off, but I didn't say that because I'm trying to be better with my words. I'm like,
I applaud you for.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then like he like turned over.
Respected it.
And I will say like the next day he was kind of like, he was a little aggy, and like, you know, not his normal like jolly self, you know, like around the house. And so I was like, not like I gotta give him some butt, because like, you know, I want to be intimate with my husband, but I knew why he was like that. He was
wounded
like,
puppy.
Exactly. He was like that because I didn't get no butt. So you know, the next morning, like, because I was still I have to prioritize me too, right? So like if sleep is a priority for me, I'm not going to just like like I'm not gonna allow Shane like wake me up like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, baby, you up? No. I'm not.
The fact that he said, you ain't even sleep.
You ain't even sleep.
You ain't even sleep.
I'm like, no.
Let me put you to sleep.
So
Put your back to sleep, girl.
The next morning, once I was awake at my time.
You got your sleep.
You know what I'm saying? I got my sleep. Then
you prioritize
like,
your husband.
Now I can prioritize you. You know what I'm saying? But like,
and so I think the men in that, they feel like they're at our discretion when sex happens. That's what Sean has expressed to me.
They are. I had the pussy, so I make the rules.
I get that. Yes, you are. You are at my discretion, and it doesn't mean that I want it less than you. You just want it like if he could have it twice a day, he would.
100%.
I cannot do that.
No, girl. I can't even have it every day. Like I'm telling, like it's not. That cadence,
but
it's
that's not
sustainable for me.
Bringing it back, that's not a sex addiction.
No, it's not.
That's just you are wildly attracted to your wife.
Right.
Shane is wildly attracted to his wife. He will tell you if you ever meet him.
Oh, he
will describe why, and he will go through every reason why he's wildly attracted to his wife, which I love about him and them. But he's not sex addicted. Yeah. This man is sex addicted.
The need to just like, to Bree's point, get his rocks off of anybody and any like capacity or even like any distance or any liking. He's just like, hey, will you give me attention? I don't care what you look like, how you treat me, who you are, how you identify. If you will give me attention, like,
or how much I lead you on,
right? And
if you're addicted, right, to whatever it is that you're addicted to, you will do anything to get that thing. Yeah, which means it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what's going on, what the aftermath might be, who you might hurt in the process. So I personally don't understand how anybody could be with someone who has a sex addiction unless they were seeking actual help with that addiction. Because it's just like with anything else. If you're an alcoholic, for example, the way to cure your alcoholism is to not drink alcohol. But if you're a sex addict, are you just supposed to never have sex? Like, I don't think that's the cure. So it's like, what do you do? And I don't know, because I'm not a sex addict, but I can say I've had an experience with somebody who was, and it was very eye-opening when I found out like what was actually going on, that like, you know, yes, we were having sex, but he was also having sex with lots of other people and things. And when you find, I mean, like, you know, like toys and different things like that.
Oh.
And like
Angela, like,
I mean, they do whatever they need to do. Like, but when you find out that like that's a struggle, the first thing that I felt was sadness. Like, I was genuinely sad for them, because I was like, oh, like this is a problem. And like they were, from what I knew, a good person. But when you have something like an addiction, I mean, what do you do? You know, so people gotta deal with it how they deal with it. But what I would say is the biggest thing for me, like, I guess not even sex addicts, but more looking at signs for unhealthy sexual activities or behaviors, is that one, you should never be questioning like your comfort when it comes to your sex life with your partner, if you feel used or if you feel like you're doing things even when you don't want to. There's a difference between being married and having a night where you're feeling a little lazy and you don't want to, but you throw it back anyways, and like someone forcing you to have sex with them all the time. Like that's borderline rape. Nobody wants that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think the goal is whenever you're dating and getting into that next phase of like being in that committed relationship, you have to have those weird questions like, what is your sex life like? What do you like? What don't you like? What's off limits for you? Right. Like one of my very first questions I asked Dre was like, do you like butt stuff? Because I'm not here for that. Like, let's just get that out the way. Like,
I mean, I feel you.
It's not happening.
I'm there too.
You, girl.
I'm good off that.
I'm not
too.
with it.
You gotta ask those things because the worst thing that could happen is you could fall in love with the person and the idea of them, and you find out who they really are, and those demons start to show their ugly heads, and now you're in a situation where you genuinely love this person and you don't want to leave them because you feel that they would be worse off. And bump that.
That's what I'm saying. I want to touch on that too. Where's the red flag? I don't even know where they went.
Throw mine up.
Throw yours up. But a red flag that she brought up is that he ended up telling her that he was with a man. Yeah. Right? Where's y'all took the clipboard?
That's not something I should just casually find out about after questioning you because I saw you messaging a man.
Yes, he said this wasn't his first time talking to a gay man. So
there's a reason why he was talking to him.
That's what I'm saying. It's not, and he never told her about that. I mean, I
can understand why, because he probably didn't want to be looked at as gay or categorized as something that maybe he doesn't feel he identifies with.
Right.
However,
it seems like he is struggling with his own sexuality and trying to figure it out and his own desires. And I think that, like you said, should be done during singleness, not in a relationship.
This woman are similar, who will be anonymous, unless you are in an exploratory phase where you are figuring out your sexuality. You need to pack your bags and run as quickly as you can. Yeah. Okay. Because that's the only way it's gonna work. If you're not in that space, if you know what you want, that's not gonna work. Yeah. It's not gonna work.
Yeah. So I mean, and I wanted to also bring up another thing that I noticed is that she got with him, broke up with him because of the initial Facebook the sexting. Yeah. Now he's asking her to get back together, and her gut is still telling her no.
Follow your gut.
Absolutely not.
There's a reason why
follow your gut and follow my voice. No. No.
I mean, there's a reason why she broke up with him in the first place.
Yeah. Like
it didn't make sense then, and it don't make sense now.
Yeah.
Keep that door closed and locked.
She said, would you give the relationship another shot? No.
It's a no.
No, and not even because of the pansexual stuff, because that's not what we're saying. It's the deceit. It's the not the full disclosure in the beginning. It's the feeling the need to be logged into social media. Like if it was a girl, if he was heterosexual, that would be our same advice. Get out because there's no trust.
Yep.
You know? And then I think your gut is telling you, and imagine giving this relationship another shot and you get engaged and you get married and you have kids, and then 10 years down the road, you see something pop up with a man or a woman or whatever, because he's pansexual, and you're like, damn, I should have listened to my gut.
And I mentioned this on one of our past episodes, but a woman DM'd me and was like so distraught. She was married to this man, had 7 kids by him and everything. Her husband. 7, girl.
That was a mistake right there.
And he left her for a man that he was with half of their marriage.
Yeah.
Because he realized
I've heard stories like that, like countless times.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And like they love each other so much, and like they don't have any she's just like, imagine the hurt that you feel. I never was enough, clearly, but then even to know how much that we love each other, for you to not be able to tell me, and for me to this whole time been in love with my husband, meanwhile you're in love with a whole other man.
Completely unfair.
It makes it worse.
I think that's completely unfair. I think in any situation.
Yeah.
I don't like, regardless if he was attracted to a man, if he was attracted to a different race, if this whole time he's attracted to short women, this whole time he likes people with certain kinds of feet. That's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like this should have been, stuff like this should be said in the foundational conversations, because in the end, you will never be enough because you didn't have that thing that he never told you he wanted.
But you know what, though? Luckily for her, this is kind of still in a foundational phase for her, because they were only together for 2 months. When she found this out, and then she ended it. And it's like, sis, listen and realize the signs that the universe is bringing to you that this ain't it, honey.
And what I do think is, from the sounds of this situation, he doesn't have many people that he talks about this to. So, like, if I were her, I would continue to be a listening ear, because in situations like that, you never know what people are going through, and it would be terrible to like cut him off and then find out that something bad happened to him or anything like that. You never know people's state of mind. So it's like, close the door on the intimate relationship, but let him know that you will always have a friend in me. You need to talk.
Like they've been friends.
Continue to be
school.
Friends, but girl, don't let that man mess up your life and your what is it called, your self-confidence. Like, because at the end of the day, that's what it's gonna do, is destroy how she feels about herself. Because again, you'll never be good enough.
And like you said, she can be there for him without compromising herself. She's compromising herself. And what do you always say, Brie? You're one man away, something like that. This is what he is.
So if it doesn't work out with somebody, you're just one man closer to the right man.
You're one man closer, sis. Because you got our advice is, you gotta do not give this relationship another shot. And the thing is, you're like in a prime position because you're not even with him.
So like, it should be easy.
A lot of the people who write in are still in the relationship, so you're like in a prime position to decline respectfully for your reasons, and you should probably communicate your reasons.
Over and no thank you. But I would like to extend an olive branch to be friends.
To consider to be there for you, you know? So yeah, that's
better than nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you do give it another shot in the name of love and he's a great guy, then you're not getting what you want in the end, because it sounds like you want someone who wants you and only you. And I think most people should want someone who wants you. But I know there's some other relationships there's some other terms out there that.
I mean, look, if that's what you do it with someone who wants to do that too.
Exactly.
It will never work. It's just like, if you're someone who naturally wants an open marriage, you are not going to be happy being married to somebody who wants to be monogamous. Like, you're going to always think, what if? You're probably going to step out and do some things on the low, and then vice versa. Your person, if they're with you knowing that you want an open relationship, they're always going to think, what is he actually doing right now? Or like,
oh my gosh,
all the things. It's always going to be an insecurity. So that's why alignment in relationships is so important, because it's not just about what you want your future to look like. It's about your beliefs and your morals and values and what you ultimately, as a person, decide that you want, and if that other person is the thing that's going to give that to you. And if you don't want the same things, none of it makes sense.
And I think we should also mention there's someone out there who aligns with what you want.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to find him if you're still in a space where your energy is going to something else.
And if a man heard you explain that you was dealing, honey, they would be so turned off. They would be like, he what? Confused, like, whoa, no, I don't like it. Let's leave that there.
But yes, that's our advice. Let us know how that one goes, because I think we did a good job, like, picking that one apart, you know? Really getting down to the nitty-gritty on that situation.
I'm just excited for our sis to go find her somebody who wants her and only her. Okay, because that's what you deserve. I want that for you. I like that for you.
I love that for you. You know, I hate when people say that.
I know, me
I hate it.
That's why I said it in the funny voice.
Like, yeah. I always say it like when I'm like trying to like mimic. Like, oh my God, I love that for me.
Yep. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Well,
Anyhow.
this was a real one. Thank you guys for, sitting in, and we can't wait to see what you think. Make sure you comment below. Give us your thoughts. That was a lot. Make sure if you guys have a story that you want to share and get advice on, that you go to relationshiprestore.com, click on For the Girls, and fill out the Help a Girl Out. Follow us on Instagram at Brianna Ponte, at Cece Costin, at Angela Hanna, and of course, Relationship Restored. We love y'all, and until next time.
See ya.
Yeah.